The daily grind. Pointless meetings, exploding inbox, rush hour traffic, annoying colleagues. There is a solution to all of that, and it's called early retirement. In this video, I'm going to tell you about 10 great benefits of retiring early. Depending on your age and on where you live, you may be decades away from retiring. What do you think about attending the same long and pointless meetings for decades? And in general, do you think that waiting until you're 70 to finally do the things you like is the best approach to life? Luckily, there are alternatives, and one of them is early retirement. Before we get into it, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Patrick, and this is the home of Smart Productivity, where we explore ways and ideas to simplify our lives so that we have more time and energy to focus on what we love. There are lots of people talking about and dreaming about early retirement. And judging by the number of books and forums and blogs and experts on early retirement, you would expect to be surrounded by people who have retired early. However, that's not the case. The vast majority of people work until pension age. They may complain every day about their job, but they keep showing up. Not many have the courage to change course and change their lives, which is a shame because early retirement has got lots of benefits. The first benefit is that you can free up 8 to 10, maybe even more, hours per day. There is no need for complex calculations to know the majority of us can only dedicate a few hours a day to their hobbies and passions. Most of us work 9 to 5, I used to work 9 to 6, so that's already 9 hours a day dedicated to work. And if you add an hour in the morning to get up and ready, 45 minutes to commute to work, and 45 minutes to go back, that's 11 and a half hours a day. Assume you sleep 7 hours a night, and there you have it. You're left with around 6 hours to do everything else you want to do in life. And that's not just fun stuff. It's cooking, shopping, looking after your kids, cleaning the house, doing lots of other chores. If I think back to my case, after doing all those activities, I was left with the hours of the night to do the things that I really wanted to do. And that made me sleep less, and I was more and more tired the next day. I also had this feeling that my priorities were wrong because I was focusing all my good energy on the things that I didn't want to do. And when I finally could do the things that I wanted, I had very little energy left. But by retiring early, you immediately free up 10 or 11 hours a day. There is no commute anymore. There is no endless meetings anymore. There is no boss telling you how to spend your day. Time becomes yours. You just have to decide what to do with it. Even better, those 11 hours are the best hours of the day when you're awake and sharp and not half asleep. There will be no need to do your things during the evenings or at night. At night you can sleep or think or do whatever it takes to save the world. Next, Monday is the best day of the week. Once you retire, you get out of the standard routine that everybody has. Work 5 days a week and then rest for 2 days. Actually, your weekends may not change much, but your standard weekdays will change massively. Mondays will become your favorite days because they will be the start of another amazing week. Everybody else will be busy at work, but you get to decide what to do and at what time. And this goes hand in hand with the next great thing, which is that you can do things off peak. As you have full control over your time, you can choose to do things when other people are not around. Taking the tube at 10 a.m. is very different than taking the tube at 7 a.m. when there is less space and more people around you. At 10 a.m. you can look around, you've got space. You may even say hello to your fellow passengers without looking suspicious. You can visit museums when there is no queue. You can have piano lessons in the morning. You can visit shops when they're empty. You can let other people queue while you enjoy your life with no rush. And the same applies to travel. You can go places when they are slightly out of season and spend less to get a better service. More enjoyment for less money. You can't beat that. Okay. The next great thing is that you can work to improve your health. If you've ever tried being on a diet while working, you probably know how difficult it is to stick to your meal plan when the only things available at lunch around your office are sandwiches and pizzas. There is no chance you can eat well if you don't have time to properly prepare your food. And I know that there are some people that are really good at preparing things in advance. Maybe they spend the weekend cooking for the entire week, but in my opinion, they end up eating the same thing every day of the week, which is probably not that good for them. And beside eating well, we all know it's important to stay active and exercise, but how can you stay active if you're sat at your desk for 11 hours a day? No wonder productive people have started waking up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym. When I was working, I tried going to the pool very early in the morning because everyone was saying how great it was. So I decided to try it for a week. Put the alarm at 6 a.m., woke up, went to the pool, managed to swim for half an hour despite the cold water, and I was ready for work and life by 7:30 a.m. And it sucked. The pool was cold, the shower was cold, the bathroom was cold. I just didn't enjoy it. I think I gave up on Thursday. I didn't even manage to complete the week. But now I do my exercises at 10 a.m., which is much more civilized. The next great thing is more family time. Relationships are very important in life, and being able to reclaim 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 hours a day means that you get to spend more time with the people you care about. These are obviously your kids, your partner, your friends, and also maybe your parents, if you're lucky enough to still have them. Because the sad reality is that time only moves in one direction, and this is especially true for our parents, because they're not getting any younger, are they? So early retirement will give you a great opportunity to spend more time with the people you love. The next great benefit is freedom to plan your day. When you have a standard job, maybe in a big company, often your days and your schedule are decided by someone else. Your boss will tell you what to do, your colleagues will invite you to meetings, your inbox will explode with messages and emails that other people want you to read. I remember being invited to countless and often pointless meetings that I had to attend, and that would leave me with very little time to focus on things that I wanted to work on. I was always playing catch up, and I had very often to relegate the things that I wanted to do to the last position. Now I'm free to build up my days the way I want, and that means that I can dedicate more time to the things that I want to work on, and I can just decide not to do the things that I don't want to do. Of course, I can't avoid all chores, but I've got a much better balance now. Another great benefit is the opportunity to travel more or maybe even build a new career. Pension age is increasing anywhere around the world, and the trend is very clear. It will continue to increase. Irrespective of where you live and irrespective of your local laws, it is fair to assume that you are decades away from retiring. Young people starting now realistically face the prospect of working 50 years before retiring. And in 50 years, there is space for 3, maybe even 4 different careers. You could change jobs every 12 and a half years. Think of how many things you could do if you decided to, say, stop to your current career and move to a new one and reinvent yourself every 10 years. It'd be an amazing opportunity to abandon a path you're not happy with to move to a new one which is potentially more interesting. It does not have to be forever. You can live your life in phases. If your next phase happens to be the travel phase, when you travel around the world, so be it. If it's the charity work phase, so be it. If it's writing a book, yeah, go on and do that. You can pick any path and change your mind as often as you want. And chances are, one of the new things you try will lead to more interesting things. Moving on, the next great benefit is that you can learn new things. Learning new things is great, but it takes energy and time. I remember taking guitar classes while I was working. I had my classes in the evenings. I would get there after a very long day at work, and I was stressed and tired, and I would waste the first half of my lesson just to unwind, just to detach myself from work and getting in tune with the things that I wanted to learn. What a massive waste. When you retire early, you can take classes, you can learn new things, you can read books on a much more natural schedule. And not only that, you will have time to attend the class and focus on the things you're trying to learn, and you will have more time to practice. So you will improve much more quickly at whatever you're trying to do. The next great thing is the opportunity to live in a different place. And this is an opportunity that almost never happens if you are in a standard job. Even now that remote working is much more popular. Once you're free, you can explore new countries, move to new countries, learn new languages, do whatever you want. But of course, you don't have to move far away to enjoy early retirement. It may be a quieter area or a place near the sea or near the mountains, or maybe even a cheaper place. The point is, as soon as you're not tied to a location because of work, you can decide to move wherever you feel like. Or maybe you have 2 places and decide to spend a few weeks here and a few weeks there. And even better, you don't have to make any permanent decisions. You can change your mind as often as you want. So you start living in a place, and if for whatever reason you want to change, you can simply do that. The next great thing is that you can choose a job, any job, or you can volunteer in anything you want just because you like it. Early retirement does not mean that you have to stop working. This is probably the thing that I like the least about the FIRE movement. FIRE as in financial independence, retire early. That makes for a very catchy acronym, but the retirement bit I don't like because it suggests a suspension of any activity. It's kind of telling you that you should stop working, but that's obviously not the case. You get to choose whatever you're going to do next because you're free to do whatever you want. And there is no early retirement police that will arrest you if you decide to keep working or trying new things. Don't let anyone tell you what you can or cannot do. You can do whatever you want, provided you don't harm anyone, of course. You're really free to pick new things, and there are plenty of good causes, plenty of interesting things to do. If you want to learn how to make bread, ask for an intern position at your local bakery. What's wrong with that? I would like to learn how to make pizza, for example. Long story short, I'm really convinced that when the hour of reckoning comes, not many people will think, oh, I wish I had worked more in my life. If you're thinking along the same lines, if you're considering an early retirement, but maybe you're a bit worried about the financial side of things, have a look at this video. In this video, we're discussing exactly the financial planning that is the base for a safe and enjoyable early retirement. For now though, thanks for watching.